Live. So I don't know if everybody just heard Barb ask me this question, but Barb said, does this like sync with my Google email? Like how does this work? Right. So in order to have a Google business profile, you have to have a Google account, which means a Gmail. So if you guys don't use Gmail and you want to have a Google profile, the first thing that you're going to have to do is create a Gmail account. Does anybody in here not have a Gmail? Everyone should have one because that's what Keller Williams uses when you join us. We give you a @kw.com email and it's Google based. All good? Okay. So Google's cool because as we all know, everything syncs together with one login. So you log in with your email and then you get access to your Google Drive and your Google Maps and your Google business profile. So there isn't an additional login to access your Google business profile. You can access it through your Gmail account. Just remember, if you've got multiple Gmail accounts, which one you're creating it under. So I would be strategic about that. If you're using Google Drive with a personal Gmail account and that's where all your transactions and your files are, maybe you want to keep everything in one Gmail account versus having to hop back and forth between two to get to Google Drive to get to Google Business Profile. So I would try to stick to like a primary Gmail that you're housing all of the cool Gmail features under. So to get started, to create your Google profile, we're all going to go to google.com/business. And that should look like this. And if I could just have everybody look up at me when you're there, so I know I can keep going. So many pretty faces. Google.com/business. And if you haven't signed in yet, this would be a good time to hit sign in the top right corner. It's going to bring you in. I know that I'm in my Abby Halter email right now because my photo's in the top right corner. So I'm going to give everybody a second to get here. Hi, Lorraine. And if anybody gets stuck, just holler. Oh, all right. Let me give you that. So Lorraine, we just are in Google Chrome. If you go to google.com/business, it'll bring you to the starting point. Is anybody stuck? Okay. Okay, is this the Google profile that you want to use? Yes. Okay, then you're perfect. You're right where you want me. This is your starting point. Yeah. Somewhere that doesn't look like my screen. Show your stuff. It's almost the first screen. Once we get everybody to this screen, we'll be back up in here. Google.com/business. There and want to keep going, just look at introductions. Sign in, it's top right. Yeah. Double your wanted sign in. Yep, and that's gonna take you to, so is that the Google profile that you wanna, or the Google Gmail that you wanna be in to create your business profile, or do you need to change it to the one that you use for real estate business? So go ahead and get signed into that one. If you go to right again. Look down one button. Look down. Yep, there you go. Hit add your account. Then you're gonna get signed in with the account you wanna have. Bob, are you good? Kate's good. Amanda's looking at pretty photos. She's good. Think about it. Morning's good. Yep, you can hit okay. And now I would. You're in the right email now. Now go back to your search bar and type google.com/business. Okay. Now hit sign in at the top right. There you go. Yeah. So I tried to do my own and then I don't see that without it. And so like this is where I had be on like right now. Yeah, so this is gonna look a little different. We're gonna go through like the startup stages and then once we create our page, it's gonna look like yours, and you might be able to kind of pick up from when we get there. Yeah. Yeah. It's not too. Here you are. You're welcome. I'm recording this too. So everybody can kind of go back and see. All right. Are we all, or most of us in here? Everybody's pretty looking like that. Yes, yes. All right. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Maybe when you get in, just follow the first instruction there. You go to google.com/business. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. So the first thing you guys should see once you're signed in is giving your business a name. So business name. This actually is super important. I learned a little bit about this recently, and I've seen agents and teams do this a number of different ways. What I did learn was that it is suggested to not put your brokerage name lumped in with your business name. It is still compliant if you don't put Keller Williams Realty in this business name. It's okay to leave it off. The reason that they suggest leaving it off is because it pulls traffic away from you and it kind of drives it right to the brokerage, which is great. We all love KW, but we want people to work with us as individuals. So it keeps people on you and your personal agent site and your personal Google business profile. The other piece of this is, and I would hate for this to happen, but if anybody decides to go their own way and they want to take their Google business profile with them, KW isn't attached to your business name. Mm-hmm. So that's always something to keep in mind as well, but don't go anywhere. I love you guys. Okay, so business name. Does everybody have a business name in here? I'm going to give you guys some examples. So it could be Abby Halter - real estate agent. You could put the location in there too. Abby Halter - real estate agent, Rochester, New York. If you're on a team, it's probably going to be the Valpano team, Rochester, New York, or the Valpano team real estate. You can stick real estate in there too. So I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes here to kind of think about, and if anybody's stuck, let me know, to think about what you might want your business name to look like.
So sure. Rochester, New York.
Right.
Or it also limits us for getting referrals.
So leave it out. Yeah, totally. If you want to put in like your service area or somewhere that you sell a ton of real estate in your business name, you can, but you do not have to. I think so. I think that you're able to update your business name. I think it's a pain in the butt once it gets verified. I think you probably have to jump through some Google hoops.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Delete your old one and just start a new one?
You could, but keep in mind when something's on the internet, it's kind of always on the internet. So I would be
Yeah.
pretty broad with it, I guess. So that's a good point, maybe leaving the register off. And I will say you guys can add service areas in here as well. So when we get to that point, say it again. Nope, I'm saying when we get further in the process, you're able to add in your service areas to drive traffic. You know, if somebody searches for Webster, you can get right there. What's up, Bob? It doesn't, your business name doesn't, but what I will say, if you use similar keywords or phrases, especially when it comes to your business description, which we'll talk about in a minute, if your business description or agent bio is the same across all platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the places, it is Google Smart, so it's gonna pull all those results together in a list so that Bob Ruland on all the platforms are showing up together. So I would try to stay as consistent as possible, Bob. It doesn't have to be, but the more consistent, the better Google's gonna give those results. Yeah. Yeah. What's your logo? The Ruland team? What's your logo? Like, what do you call yourself? The Ruland, so I would do the Ruland team, and you could say the Ruland team real estate, the Ruland team dash Bob, you know, Bob Ruland. So, yeah. Well, what's up, girl?
It never asked me my business name. It went like right here, so I'm not gonna like add everything.
Oh.
But I don't know what.
Well, even did you ever start one in the past? So I got your cooking on one. It's so we can.
We're not verified. No, it verifies me.
So we can start from fresh, right? Or we can go.
No. If they're, I don't know how you use your buttons, but.
You guys can keep going down the list if you want.
You might be in the same place here. Get rid of that. On yourself.
Or whatever, if you're doing individual, you can do it. Your individual. Okay. And then you save, so you're gonna be kind of in the same place for a second, where I'm gonna go through some of the setup, and then we're gonna come back and navigate how to get back to the setups. Because you've kind of gone through some of the stuff.
Can I add my four?
Just if you want, and you come back and edit too.
Can she have two? Can she have one team one and then one for herself? And then like all of her, the ones will leave that. Team one?
I don't know if you can like, yeah, I think they're all gonna be individual, but somebody might search you and then somebody might search team one, so depending on what they're searching, you want it to come.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
don't have the same website.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I love it. That's how people know you, right?
Set up for number 3 there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank
No
you.
worries.
Yeah. I would like that. No, I don't think it's like they like that, they create a business. And then, so you click that button to create. Yeah, I thought I was gonna verify, but am I? Yes, you manage this business profile. That does mean it's up verified. Yes.
Which we're gonna talk about being verified in.
per area, can we say later on?
Whatever you want. And I'm gonna talk about that in a sec too. Yeah. Okay, everybody have a business name. Thanks for being patient. Everybody's got a business name. Awesome. I have to give myself a business name so we can keep cruising here. Happy Halter. Sure. All right. Choosing your business type. If you guys were following along, you might have already got to this point on your cheat sheet that I gave you, but you guys are going to be a service business. You are providing a service, real estate services. So you're going to check that box. Next page, business category. This is on your cheat sheet as well. Real estate agent. Hey guys, is your category. I don't know if real estate team is a category. Doesn't look like it. You might be able to create your own category. You can. So real estate agent, there's no real estate team for Bob or Lorraine. You guys are going to use the real estate agent category. Everybody good? Following along still? Okay. Next up, where do you serve your customers? You guys can come back later. I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to do this too, if you haven't already. Add areas where your business provides deliveries or home and so this means where do we sell real estate? So when somebody searches for your name in an area, Kim Salamita, and they want to live in Fairport, make sure that you're tagging all of those areas that you service. So if somebody's looking for your name and they want to know if you know, or if they're just looking in Fairport, New York real estate, hopefully you and somewhere in the Google results are going to show up too, right? Because now everybody's creating a Google profile. There's going to be 25 more agents who are on Google who are going to come up. Keep that in mind. You can change and add more later, it says. So I yesterday pulled like the map of Monroe County because that's where I would service. I don't want to go Ontario or Livingston. I'm only going to service Monroe County. And I threw in all the towns, cities, villages, whatever makes up the county. And as you type it in, let's say I do Webster, you can just, I do,
So they want
oops.
actual township.
Yeah. Yeah. So Greece. No, I don't think there is. I would put as many in here as possible. So I'm going to give you guys a second to do that. What I'll do, this might be helpful. It'll pop up. Yep. Monroe County, towns, villages, map. This might help. I know a lot of us do business outside of Monroe County, but as a jumping off point, if you guys want to take a picture of this or just start adding these in quick. And then at the end, oh, it's adding more. Yeah, it's gonna add them in. And again, you can come back to this later. So, okay. Okay, yeah.
So once I get through this, I'll come back and talk more about this, but there's a lot of things you can edit. So depending on what you want to edit, I would just start with the icons, kind of go, so if you click edit profile, so I just want to do like a step, fill the page. And just where it is, it's just the service area, and then you can start typing it. Yeah.
Anybody else stop before I keep moving on? Anybody else like another minute? Oh, we good to keep going. 20. Nick's telling us 20 areas is our max, so choose wisely. So that might mean, yeah, which is, I mean, I think that you can probably get pretty, yeah, I think 20 is probably good. I wouldn't want, yeah, any more than 20 is obnoxious. So I think that that's perfectly fine. All right. contact details. So if you guys don't know your own phone number or your website, that is not good. So I hope everybody in here has made it to this point and knows their phone number. If you're a team and you have calls that are like routing to a main office number, or if you have someone on your team who you want to take those incoming calls, web leads or whatever you want to call them, I would put that person's phone number in here. And then your agent site.
How do we find that?
How do you find your agent site? When you go into command, yep, we'll take a little adventure over there right now. Agent.kw.com. That's all right. And you log in. It's the last icon on the left, Kim, under consumer. And once you get there, it should give you your subdomain right here, abbyhalter.kw.com. Okay. I have like 17 Google business profiles, so. Okay. What's up, girl? Your website, yep. You go to command, so agent.kw.com. When you log in, it's this last icon on the bottom left called consumer. And then right here in the center under subdomain. All right, put your business on the map. This is where we start thing and what that means. So to be Google verified, that means that you are the owner of the business and that you're the only one who can manage or make edits to this business on Google. If you do not get verified, that means anybody can make edits to your page. Weird, right? Or post like on your behalf or upload like photos of your business. So it's more of like a public platform if you don't get verified. Not great. So everybody might get a different, this might be a moment where we stop and do a little troubleshooting because the verification process can get a little funky. I was instantly verified yesterday when I put in the office address here. Done. Took about 5 minutes and it showed that I was verified. Some people will try to do this and it will say, all right, you're not verified. We need a video of your service location. Instructions on how to get that video to them because you have to prove that there's a physical location where you accept clients. So I'm curious to see for all the newbies in here, when you go to do this in a second, how it asks you to verify your profile. Might be instant, it might not. You need to take a video? Did it give you the instructions on how to get that video to them? I'm guessing it's gonna maybe send you a postcard to this mailing address with a code. Yep. Does it get? Yep. Yep. Like the front door, walking into the front desk. Yep. Yep. So when we hit continue. Yep, exactly. So your mailing address. So what I would do in this case would be to use this office address, or if your license is held in our West office, I would probably use the West office address. Mhm. No, just hit continue. Yep. So this address is not public. This is just so that if you do need to be verified and they need to send you something, this is where it's going to come. I don't know why some people need to submit a video and some people can get verified instantly. I truly don't. Did you, Nick? Okay. Yeah. Yep. So it's probably going to ask you. It might. So maybe leave that. Did anybody in here put building 1, suite 201? You did? Okay. I'm gonna see what happens if I don't. Want my phone code? Thank you, Nick. And then for my peeps who are kind of stuck in the middle of like having one created and being verified, I can help you guys after this. Everybody verified? It's building 1, suite 201. Yep. Be speedy. 685. Good. We're gonna talk about some best practices too. All right. If everybody can look up at me once you're verified, so I know when I can keep moving. It does, Lorraine.
Building, it have to be in that south lane road, so it goes south. And then I add, the other sign is a little bit.
And you know what might have happened with you ladies, Lorraine, is if you created yours like prior to, it might not even like let you change your verification like method. So it might be stuck with that, but I can help you guys through it. Everybody at the add your services part, or has everybody made it through this section here? Not yet. Kim's helping Michelle. Okay. Yes. Huh? Yes. Yep. You can go back and edit them, and I'll show you kind of. It's not going to look the same once we get through this. We're going to have to go back in to make edits, and it's going to look different. So this is strategically taking you through, right? So your services. So take a second. You guys can create custom services as well, but just at a glance, we don't perform appraisals for real estate agents. So I'm not going to click that, but we do provide buying agent services. A lot of this stuff you're like, oh, yeah, commercial. I don't do commercial, but add that. Add it in there, because if somebody calls you and is like, hey, I'm looking to buy a commercial property, then you call someone in our commercial division and you give them a referral. Awesome. So even if you're like, ooh, yeah, I don't really touch foreclosed properties sales, I would keep this again, like pretty broad. Like don't worry too much. Land leasing and sales, why not? Somebody might want to find some land, you can help them, or if you can't help them, you'll find someone who can and get a referral fee. I don't know. We're gonna have to test that out. So start clicking through and yeah, absolutely. Yeah, real estate investing, relocation assistance, right? You guys are experts. You can help people with that. Or if there's something in here that you know, whether it's like senior housing specialist or you have specific certifications, we can come back to this after we create this, but you can create your own. Why not? All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit. And again, if anybody falls behind, I can stay for a few minutes after class. And also you can get back to all of this. So don't panic. Not your only chance. All right, after services provided, we get our business hours. So this is up to you guys. I worked on a team where we were pretty specific about when we were open because we rocked it out with the work-life balance. It was very important to my team leader that we do that. So our hours were 9 to 5. That's what we put on Google. It doesn't mean that somebody can't call you after 5. They're just going to get your voicemail. So it's up to you guys how you want to do this. A lot of real estate agents say that they're open 24 hours. Love it. You can click your little buttons on. And if you want to do the opens and closes that, you can set your times, or you can choose 24 hours. And if your phone rings, you get to choose when you answer it anyways. So stick your 24 hours in there. Yeah, you missed a button. You're gonna have to go back a button.
So if you click on Sunday and make it on, turn it on, see that switch? Yep, turn it on. And then you can put your times in there, or you can click 24 hours.
You are welcome. Add messaging. So that's the next page that we're on. Let customers message your business on Google for free. You can turn this on. there is, I'll talk about it in a few minutes. There is a place where you're gonna want to make sure if you accept messages through Google, that you're turning your notifications on so that you're actually getting these messages. Or you can download the Google Business Profile app and you can manage your messages through there as well. But I believe if you turn notifications on the back end, you will get an email if somebody is messaging you and then you can access it. Or you don't have to accept messages. You can leave it off. All right, business description. Let customers learn more about business by adding a description to your business profile on Search Maps and other Google services. So this is more so for you guys, like an agent bio, right? What do you do? What do you do? Who do you serve? Why are you awesome? Maybe you've got some statistics in there. Things to include, what you offer, what sets you apart, your history. Lorraine Kane's been in the business for X amount of years, blah, 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 or however you want to write it. Anything else that's helpful for customers to know. And then things to avoid, URL, 750 characters is what they give you for this, so it's not super long. And then focus primarily on details about your business instead of details about promotions, prices, or sales. We don't really travel down that path. We're not selling goods, so I wouldn't put anything in there about promotions or prices anyways. So everybody can take a quick second. If you have yours ready, that's awesome. Get it in here. I did try to send out an email preparing people to bring something like this with them. If you need to come back to this, you can, but you need to type something in here for now. So I might need to type something like, I sell real estate in Rochester, New York. And then you're going to go home tonight or over the next couple of days and make sure that you make changes to this, and you never, you got to make sure you update it if you're putting a placeholder in here. Okay. So next we've got photos of your business. So it's really up to you guys how you want to work this. I would definitely say your headshot's an important thing to put in here, probably is that main photo that pops up. Or if you don't want your face, a photo of the front of the office building that says Keller Williams Realty, your team logo or your personal logo could go in here. And then you can add as many, photos as you'd like for people to be able to go through. Maybe it's photos of houses, or maybe it's a photo of you and our people at the awards gala with the KW, like whatever you want to represent you, and the photos you want people to be able to swipe through could go here. And you can add more later. I wonder if I have my headshot in here. I think I just saw my face somewhere. Here I am. We're almost done here. Okay. After you add a photo or photos, Google's going to ask you to claim your $500 advertising credit. You do not have to do this. You can. I don't know what they require you to put in if you hit claim your credit. It's going to take you to Google Ads, I think. And you're probably going to have to put your credit card info in and take advantage of this free trial. So it's up to you guys if you want to pay for Google advertising. I think that there's a ton of ways that you can optimize just your Google business page without paying for any Google advertising. Just the fact that you're on here, you're a million steps ahead of a lot of people. And we're going to talk about some of the things that are really important now that you have a Google profile. Okay. Google, it's going to ask you a little bit about Google Workspace, get a custom domain name for your website, blah, blah, blah. Most of us already have a real estate agent website. We don't need anything additional. We have a business email. Thanks, but no thanks. We can skip through. So I don't know if you guys got to this point yet. Your edits will be visible once you're verified. You can continue to make updates to your profile at any time. So when I did this yesterday and I hit continue, I'm not visible to customers yet. Google is processing your verification. It usually takes a few minutes. So by the time I went back to this, like 10 minutes later, I was verified. I don't really know how long it could take. Maybe it'll take an hour. Maybe it's going to take more since we're all in this room together trying to do this. Maybe we're breaking Google. I don't know. But mine was very quick yesterday. And once it is verified, then you guys will see a little check mark that says verified, and that's what we want to see. So is anybody at this part yet? Like, has anybody gone through all the steps and now your screen looks like this? Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes just to get through all the steps of the setup before we keep talking. And maybe by the end of the class, it'll be verified. Okay, you might have to come back later, Barb, and I can help you find what you're looking for. What's up?
Yours doesn't show, yeah, can you see how yours is shown on the right hand side there with you and profile? So, yeah, we're already verified. Casey looks like she's verified. My poor girl, we're gonna get you verified. It's no, like, take videos of that. I know, we had to do it on ourselves. And it's weird now, I don't know if we changed, like, our call. Yeah, so like the pattern. And I tried more than once. Is it the format or is it giving you another error? I wondered if it, did you grab that off Google or something? I have an account. Uh-huh. Like this. What if you do add a cover photo? That's where you're, that's where the Rochester picture was. I don't know, but I have not had that. Let me, okay, look into it, and I can sit with you too, towards the end of the class. Figure it out.
Okay, so everybody made it through all the step by step. I wish I could show you guys. I'm not verified yet, so I can't show you what it looks like to be verified, but if you are, you should have a section over here on the right-hand side that shows like your Google profile with the little blue check mark saying you manage this business or something like that. Okay. Like, good to keep going. Okay. Skip that, Barb. Skip it. That's okay. No worries. Yep. Great. Okay. So to get back to all the stuff we just did, this is what it's gonna look like to you guys. So if I go home and I'm like, I gotta get out of here, I'll come back to this later. And I go google.com/business and I sign back in. Oh, stop it. I'm in the wrong one. I don't want to create a new one. Maybe just Google business sign in. It wouldn't let me get back to it. Hold, please. These guys? Oh, business. Thanks, Car. I knew it was somewhere. So when you go up to your account, like Kari just mentioned, just like you get back to your Gmail or you get to your Google Drive, one of the icons is Business Profile Manager. So that's how you're going to get back into these settings later. Like this, up and down, if you want this icon towards the top so you don't have to go scroll down to all the extra stuff. Then you can come back in and hit edit profile and you guys can go back into these tabs. It's going to look a little bit different for everybody because it's not taking us through that initial step-by-step setup this time, but you are able to come in and edit. Looks like this is pretty easy to edit your business name. Somebody had asked that at the beginning. Seems like it lets you. Category description, There are some additional items in here that weren't asked up front through the setup, like opening date. I think that's if you're seasonal operation. Your contact info again is in here. You can link social media profiles if you want. And as you scroll, you can see these little tabs at the top are lighting up. So it's just taking us through all the stuff we just went through. Some of the other stuff in here. So here's your messages to add your photos, edit your services. You can link like bookings in here if you want to allow people to set up an appointment with you through Google. You could play around with the bookings feature. I have never used this, but it's not going to let me even show you guys because I'm still processing my verification. But you can go through and kind of click through the tabs and see maybe there is some other stuff within your Google profile that you want to take advantage of. This is what most real estate agents are doing and creating for their Google. I know a lot of people paying for like advertising through Google, but again, if you want to claim your $500 credit and see if, I don't know, see if it works for you. I've got a few other things I want to mention to you guys, but does anybody have questions about this? Everybody good? Pretty easy, right? And then anybody who's got weird circumstances, like your photos are rejecting or not getting verified, you guys stay in your seats. So at the bottom of the packet that I gave you guys can take this home with you. Sorry, it's not pretty. I just wanted it to be easy. Next up, I have just a few bullet points. So things to remember or things to make sure you go back and do. So make sure to add a picture of yourself, your service areas, and your business description if you haven't. Turn on your notifications. So let me point this out. We can all do this together right now. These three little dots at the top give you some additional actions you can do right here. So if I go into notifications, get a text alert for new messages and chat. Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. So at the top of your notifications, verify your mobile number to turn on text alerts. So just make sure in here that you're putting the phone number that you want those text alerts to go to. It's going to send your code. How to get to notifications? Three little dots right here, Casey. And then notifications. I have so many compliments on her yellow today. She likes black like her soul. Like her heart. And then there's more stuff you guys can turn notifications on for as well. So some of this you might want to turn off if you don't want news and tips. You can turn some of it off. Bookings, if you're not using bookings, obviously you won't get any, but you can go through and make some decisions on what types of things you want to be notified on. Your Google review links. This is probably one of the most important things. Google reviews. That's like the primary reason for a lot of people creating a Google business profile. Hey, Slay. You can wait. Did anybody else see me send Shaymar's email to the entire master roster yesterday? No, did you saw that? Yeah. Yeah. Send it to the whole roster. Anyways, side note. Google reviews are super important. A lot of people are starting their home search on Google. Like whether they're ending up on realtor.com, Zillow, your agent site, they're most of the time starting on Google. Homes for sale, real estate agents in Rochester, whatever the case may be. So I believe that Google reviews are probably going to benefit you the most. I know when I'm going out to eat or I'm going anywhere or a hotel or whatever, I hit Google reviews pretty much right off the bat. I love it. I crack out on Google reviews. I can't lie. I'll be like years deep in there. Like, wow, this person's crazy. So, so if you don't have Google reviews, because you're just building your Google review or your Google business profile, some suggestions for you guys would be ask your past clients. Hey, would you guys mind posting a review to Google for me about your experience working with me? Don't be afraid to ask again. If anybody does like pop buys, like we delivered cookies at Thanksgiving time, and I just had a little sticker on there that was like, would you leave us a 5-star review on Google? And most people are like, yes, of course I will. So don't be afraid to ask again, even if you've captured the review somewhere else already, you want to have them leave one on Google. Friends, partners, vendors, attorneys that you work with, other agents and colleagues that you work with. I taught a class in Buffalo at one point, a couple years ago, and Gary, my team leader, went with me, and he had every agent in the classroom who took his class leave him a Google review that just said, Gary taught this amazing class on, educating buyers and sellers on whatever, and it was like amazing. So you can collect Google reviews, not just on helping people buy and sell, but just you being a kick-ass person or partner. So think about, asking agents, around the office, hey, I'll leave you a Google review if you leave me a Google review. No, that's a lie. They have to sign in as themselves. It's gotta come. I mean, you could make a million fake email addresses, but it's gonna prompt somebody to sign into their Google account. Slave review. And most people have a Gmail account. Yep. So your reviews, if you guys want to ask for reviews, where's my little review button? I don't want to read reviews. I want to ask for reviews. Does anybody have an ask for reviews button? Yeah? Why don't I? Maybe because I'm not verified? Okay. I don't have it. Well, there should be an ask for reviews button. And when you click on that button, it brings you to a link, and that link can be copied and sent out in an email after closing, or you could use a QR code, or you could stick it on your Facebook page, but that's your specific Google profile review link that you can give people or send to people so that they can leave your review. So that's what you're going to want to send to take them directly to that place on your profile. The other thing that helps with driving traffic is adding in additional photos. So like you guys can add, I think you can add them as updates too. Yeah, so you can like post updates and add photos in, or just upload additional photos of, like, if you have a system where when you list a property, it goes out on Facebook and it goes out on Instagram, take that same graphic you created and just slap it into your Google profile as well, so that all of your content is kind of adding up. I think there's a difference between like adding it as a post and adding it as a photo. I think a post becomes more like Facebook, where it's showing like your activity. Yeah. I think just photos. I might be wrong.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you under, oh yeah, or videos. So maybe you could do like your team, introducing your team or something like that. Yeah. That would be sweet. So you guys can post as much as you want. You don't have to, but if you want to continue to build it, this could just be another place. You're not having to create an extra graphic or do an extra step, but just taking your marketing content that already exists and sticking it on here. And you can also see how many views. I think if I was verified, does anybody have a little views, or say like how many views this month at the top? It'll show you. So a good way to kind of check out your traffic. Okay, and then the last thing I'll say, look at us, we finished in time. The last item on things to remember on your packet I gave you is Google will send you emails and will, if you turn on your text notifications, send you messages that are prompting you to do something. So Google is like, it's insightful. It's able to tell you, hey, like spend more time on this, or you haven't posted in a while, or this is a huge one, it's not in the packet. Respond to your reviews. So when somebody leaves you a review, it will ask you, do you want to reply or respond? You always need to reply or respond with, thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you, or whatever. Doesn't have to be long, but always respond to your reviews. I don't know why, but it does something with like the credibility of your profile. Yeah. Okay. I'll pop back there. Does anybody else have questions? If everybody's good to go, you're free to get the heck out of here. If anybody has questions or wants me to take a look at their laptop, raise your hand.